You're tuned in to Floridian Rollo. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo, and I am definitely coming at you with another live stream. We have some videos to look into when it comes to the Epstein file, the Dems hate America, Anton speech. This Anton Daniels video proves to you what I've been saying for a long time. You're going to have a lot of people upset with me speaking on this because the truth of the matter is Anton Daniels is correct. Of what these ladies are going to say, what Anton Daniels is going to say, and what I'm going to say about it. Because I'm telling you right now, this is needed. A lot of people don't touch on this subject as much because when you hear this video, don't get in your feet. The truth is the truth. I deal with logic. I deal with common sense. And so, without further ado, let's get to it. Listen to what this lady have to say and what Anton said and what I'm going to say. Here we go.
My mom's been broke since 1982. It's currently 2025. She's still broke as. When I started my cycle, my mom was so pissed because she had to walk to the store and buy maxi pads, as if I asked God for me to start bleeding out my okay? Poverty will affect your kids whether they speak to the you as the parent or not. When your children know you have no car and you have no money, that is going to affect the experience they have as a kid. They're not going to be as willing and wanting to do extracurricular activities, develop hobbies. They won't even develop a sense of style because you too broke to buy them clothes. And it's not even about buying brand new or super expensive things. It's just about enriching your child's experience. When all you can say that you've done for your child is provide them a house or a place to live, and a lot of times that coming from Section 8 and they're in the projects, okay?
That's coming from Section 8, living in the projects. That's facts. That is facts. Speak it. Talk your talk, woman. Talk your talk. Listen.
And or providing them food via food stamps as if this is you worked hard to give to them, you're doing absolutely nothing as a parent. And that is also why I am so against teen pregnancy, because as a teenager, you have not even given yourself the foundation or even been given the foundation to build as an adult. And now you're starting a family. So now you're starting your kids in quicksand and y'all expect them to just climb their way out and be happy about it. Absolutely.
They're not going to be happy about it. And I talk about this. A lot of people, before Anton Daniels speak, a lot of people are having children just to be having children, thinking they could buy their way out of the situation. That's not how it works. You have to get yourself into a better environment to have kids. It's not fair to the children to be living in harsh conditions. Our parents, for the most part, while they was doing the best they can, the reason why they frustrated with us is because they didn't live the way they wanted to live. Well, you had us. You're supposed to do better as parents. It's not fair to your son and daughter to basically deal with those conditions that you chose to deal with. That's why I say don't put your children in these type of situations. Don't put your children in these type of situations, I'm telling you. Because, see, a lot of you that's having children, it's not even situated financially. A lot of you that's having children currently, it's not situated financially. Your parents, for the most part, was not financially situated to have you. You have to be economically astute. You have to have your children in a better environment. You have to lead by example. It's not fair to them. Stop making excuses. Let's go.
Yeah, I 100% agree with her. She didn't miss not even a little bit in such a short clip. I think that we're giving parents too much credit in the past. And what that has enabled us to do is to continue to push this generational curse on current generations of people.
That's facts, Anton Daniels. Talk your talk. That's facts. I'm with you on that. Let's go.
Thinking that it's okay to just have a bunch of children that you can't take care of. Then that actually led to what we're looking at today, as far as a bunch of people complaining that the government was shut down and that their food stamps wasn't there because of.
Exactly, because grandmother's still on it, mom's still on it, uncle's still on it, granddad on it, and now they put it on to the children to be pacified. This is sickening. You got parents out here that don't want to see their children develop a high social engineering to be rich. You got a lot of people saying rich is evil, even in this country. Listen, poverty is a curse. I don't care what nobody tells me. Poverty is a curse. It's from the devil. God did not intend us to suffer and to be poor. He did not intend us to be poor. So when you got these people saying that we were supposed to be poor, no, we're supposed to have learn a lesson from God. Our ancestors did something wrong and lost everything because of their sin. Your sin is what leads you into poverty. Your sin is what leads you to hell. God did not intend us to be poor. So when he talks about feed the poor, let me explain something to y'all, because see, y'all don't get it. When he talks about feed the poor, he's talking about save souls. He's not literally talking about you being poor like you don't have no money. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get the synopsis of the scriptures. When the Bible says feed the poor, it's to mean to save souls. Because they have a poor mindset. They don't believe in God. Because poor people don't believe in God. Poor people don't believe in the system. Poor people don't believe in being successful. So you have to feed these poor people mindset to do better. That's what it means to save souls. So Christ came and they had no place to rest because he was feeding the people to learn how to fish, to learn how to hunt. See, those people want to talk about this. He taught man how to fish, how to hunt, how to make money. Did he not do that? He was hysterical. At the same time, he came as a man to teach the people. His glory is with Christ, is with God. He could have came as a rich man. He's rich in spirit. He's rich in truth. Rich is not only money. Rich is your spirit cleanse. Y'all don't get it because you have a poor, low IQ mindset. It's not only about being rich, having a lot of money. You're rich in spirit, rich in health. When you eat things you're not supposed to eat, when you mess with things you're not supposed to mess with, you mess up not only your mind, your spirit, you mess up your body. But you're upset with me. And that's why y'all don't support the Cash App. That's why y'all don't support the Venmo. That's why y'all don't support the Super Chat. Because you hate me. You hate me for who I am. You want to see me poor. You want to see me in certain situations. That's when you want to support me. You're not in the righteous state of mind. I can't stand fake people, man. How you doing, Mrs. Eldridge? Tell Mr. Eldridge I say hello. I can't stand fake people. A lot of you put your children in hell. That's your fault. You didn't teach them how to become better to fish, to hunt. You didn't teach your girls how to save herself for the right man. You didn't teach them. But you want to blame Trump and everybody for closing certain things down. Let's continue.
According to statistics and data, over 42 million people would go hungry if they didn't have food stamps. So the bigger question that we should have been asking ourselves is, why do you continue to open up your legs and you poor? Why is it that poor people have the most children?
Ooh, Anton, I talked about that Anton Daniels, I talked about that, man. You on fire. I got ridiculed for talking about this. You notice that people going to be more upset with me. Say that again.
Why do you continue to open up your legs and you poor? Why is it that poor people have the
Ooh-wee.
most children? And we gave our previous generations way too much credit because they lived in the projects and then they created this environment and these step baby daddies and all of this trauma, and now everybody needs therapy, and it's because you were raised in poverty. And I hate to
Ooh-wee. Rewind it back again. I'm going to be quiet.
daddies and all of this trauma, and now everybody needs therapy, and it's because you were raised in poverty. And I hate to say it, but poverty is of the devil. And I'm not talking about going through something or being
Ooh-wee. Yes, Lord. Talk that talk. Talk that realness now. Let me rewind it back. Listen to him.
need therapy, and it's because you were raised in poverty. And I hate to say it, but poverty is of the devil. And I'm not talking about going through something or being temporarily disabled or whatever or getting laid off. I'm talking about a perpetual poverty stricken environment that then causes you to do things that you otherwise would have never even considered. That is why they have payday loans in the hood, because when you don't have resources, you take out loans that are extraordinarily high in interest rate.
That is facts. That is facts. Because down here they got it too, Anton Daniels, as you're aware of. They got payday loans down here in the South. They got payday loans down here in the South. That's facts. That's super facts. All right. Mrs. Eldridge, thank you for the contribution, the $20 contribution. Let me put it on the screen. She says, great content, Rollo. I appreciate your channel. Keep on cooking. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Yeah. Look at the end of the day, right, y'all? Look. Poverty is of the devil. If you're going through changes, if you're going through certain things, that's understandable. That's you just going through a better situation. If a job lays you off, or you leave a job because you see yourself into another situation, that's one thing. Look, at the end of the day, y'all, there's people that love poverty. They love their sin. They love their own vomit. Some people, some of your parents, some of your older grandparents, they didn't want you to leave the projects. They wanted you to stay in the projects, stay in the hood, die in the hood. They didn't want you to get your own house. They didn't want to get your own vehicle. They didn't want you to get married. And you know what's the crazy part? These people have money. They won't even give you no money. Your own parents won't even give you no money because they want you to stay in poverty. But they want you to take care of them. Yet they didn't do their real. They didn't take care of you. You had to learn on your own how to get money. You had to learn on your own to deal with people. They didn't teach you that. Why? Because they was in sin. Let's continue.
And then it becomes predatory because they know that you ain't got nothing and you're willing to give anything in order to survive for the moment. A lot of these parents absolutely ruined their children. They destroyed them. They put them in very, very harsh situations. And then they had more children. And then for whatever reason, they believed that they deserved some sort of credit for taking government subsidies and handouts and taxpayer dollars to feed their children. And then they fed their children garbage and junk.
Fed their children garbage and junk. Man, you ain't lying about that, Anton. You ain't lying about that.
Honestly, it was a lot of junkies, a lot of bad situations, Section 8 housing, all of that stuff. That does not mean that you deserve to be taken care of by the American government. It means that you are a scourge, and you are and should be held accountable. And we need to start calling out this nonsense. She is 100% correct in my opinion.
Not.
Something I never hear people talk about, I even searched it on TikTok and can't find hardly any videos on, is having parents who are destitute, parents who are poor, parents who have no resources, no retirement, no money in the bank, no job, no prospects, no nothing.
No, ma'am. Well, you're gonna find out that some of these parents, they hide their money from their children. They don't listen. There's parents out here that have money. They never wanted to give it to their children to give them a head start. You got parents out here that don't even invest in their own children. And then what happens is when they get older, they want you to take care of them. No. Don't do it. You can honor your parents. Don't take care. Listen, if your parents don't invest in you, they're not your parents. They're your parents. Of course, they had you. Yet, you're going to have to rely on God and Christ and figure it out on your own. It's unfortunate because your parents don't want you. You got parents out here that's jealous of their own kids. You got parents out here that's jealous of their own kids. So don't interact with these poor people, these poor mindset YouTubers, these poor set parents. You got to cut them off. You can honor them. You don't have to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people in America have a poor mindset. That's why this country needs a regime change. We got to make America great again. We got to cut off all these losers. All these Ibarasi men and women need to go. They need to go to the lake of fire. Straight up the box. Let's continue.
And that's both of my parents. And I can't tell you, I have 3 kids of my own. I am in the thick of motherhood and parenting 3 children. Full time. I don't drop them off for the weekend. I don't and so and I not only of the kids, right? Not to make myself
want to drop them off for the weekend.
It's not about me. Oh, maybe it is a little, but it's I wake up in the morning, as soon as my eyes pop open, what am I thinking about? My parents. My mom alone. She's freezing in her house because she has no job and no money. And I'm trying to block it out of my mind because how do I fix their life, right? How do I fix it? And people will be like, it's not your fault, people make their life, whatever. I get it, but it's still on me. It's still on my brain.
Don't let your parents, listen, that's guilt. Listen. I'm going to say this. Let me talk about this. If your parents didn't help you out in time of need, why are you going to help them out in time of need? They should have helped you out. See, this is how the devil. You got it, ma'am. You got children. I don't know if you stay with your man. I don't know. You need to focus on your children and make sure your husband good. Because let me tell you ladies something. Let me teach you ladies something. This is a lot of you ladies get yourself in a lot of trouble. I'm not telling you to disown your moms at all. But a lot of you women, you know why you're really single? Put a 5 in the chat if you want to know why a lot of women really single. I'm about to go in. Let me tell you why women really single. Y'all ready for this expose? See, I've been around a lot of women. I dealt with women with kids. I dealt with women without kids. And let me tell you something. A lot of them, they had moms that was doing okay, or most of their moms was witches. I'm going to say it. I don't care. I know my exes is watching. I don't give a rat's behind. Witches have money, right? They have a poverty money. They don't have righteous money. The point is this, right? They teach their daughters to keep the man at a minimum. Guys, if you went for a woman, I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't care how fine she is. I don't care if she got a banging body. She could be J-Lo. She could be the young J-Lo. She could be the young Halle Berry. I don't care, right? If she's not bringing money higher in your life, she's a poverty woman. You got to cut her off. If you are with a woman and she don't want to see her man make more money, you got to fucking cut her off today. Do you understand me? Feelings is not going to pay bills. Love is not going to pay bills. Being around each other all the time is not going to pay responsibility. You as a man going to have to make the toughest decision in your life because your dad didn't teach you this. Your dad was having too much fun with the woman and it led him into poverty, stricken out of earth. Do you want to be your dad in your 60s and 70s struggling? Waiting on Social Security, huh? Oh, we going there. Oh, I know you're mad when I say that. Oh, I know you guys going to get upset. I'm making you think from an upstanding point. Do you want to be in your 60s and 70s like your dad? Waiting for a man to give you a check every month? Or you going to figure it out now to where you be so successful that you don't need no goddamn Social Security for no goddamn government. You have a pension based on your sacrifice to do better as a man, to make sure your wife good if something happened to you, and your kids good if something happened to you. You leave them something. But I guarantee you, a lot of these men ain't got nothing left for their wife, ain't got nothing left for their kids, just like their parents were. That's poor devil obligations. Get out of that devil obligation. Cut these effing people off, man. I don't care if it's your blood sister or moms you love and father. If they have a poverty mindset and they don't want to see you do well, cut them off now. The hell you around them for? You better off being by yourself. And then eventually get around people that's winning. And they're going to teach you so you could get, and you could fish like how Christ taught Peter how to fish to get his own money. And so you don't have to depend on the government and Caesar Borgia. Because I'm going to tell you something. A lot of these Ibarasi cities, they depend on Caesar Borgia. And you know why a lot of people hate the red states? Ooh, I'm going to go in. You know why a lot of people hate the red states? Because they can't get no money from Caesar Borgia like they could in the blue states. See, the blue states, and a lot of you don't like me because I say the truth. You know why a lot of people live in the blue states? Because they could get away with murder. They could do whatever they want. They could do all their sins and don't get charged for it. You know what the red states taught me, particularly where I'm at in deep South Florida? You have no clue what it taught me. It taught me a lot about myself. My responsibilities has skyrocketed. Blue states are poverty. I don't care if they got more money than the red states. Y'all be thinking because it has more money that it's not poverty. It's poverty in these blue states. It's more poverty in the blue states than it is in the red states. They lying to you. You know, Rollo, the red states, they don't give out that much money. Then why people are driving nice more in the red states? Why people are a little bit more happier? Why is it that tourists coming to Florida? Why is it that people from other states want to move to Florida, which I don't want them to move to Florida because I don't want Florida to be a blue state. The point is, why is this happening? If your state is the best state, then why people leaving? Why tourists is not coming to your hot spot, huh? Ain't nobody got time to listen to your poverty nonsense. But let's continue to hear what this lady have to say. We cooking over here. Let's go.
It's still in my spirit. It still fucks with me, and I don't really know what to do because
a lot of parents have become a burden on the children that that they had. And I've even known parents to have children so that they can be taken care of once they get older. That's their retirement plan, is to be taken care of by their children. It was one guy that I know that was a barber.
Anton. You got these guys out here taking care of their parents. Oh, man, this is bad, man. Oh, we got somebody that can't stand me in the chat. We got somebody that can't stand me in the chat. Go by the name of Soul Provider. Soul Provider, you were sent, wasn't you? You can't stand me. You allowed two particular ninjas to disrespect me, and you over here with the eye emojis. Let me put you on the screen. You allow two ninjas to disrespect me on your channel, and you coming in here with the eye emoji like you surprised about what's going on. Y'all can't hide yourselves. Y'all can't hide yourselves these days. I tell you. Oh, we have a contestant in here. We have a brokey we have a brokey that's from the blue state. If your state is the best state, why do you have to talk so much about Democrat money? Because Democrat money is insane. Democrats have y'all in poverty. Nate, how do conservatives have people in poverty? People choose to be in poverty in red states. Listen, there's so much money in red states, I don't even want to tell y'all. It's none of y'all business. You think I'm going to teach y'all how to get money? Y'all don't want, listen. Blue states is trash to me. It's trash. It's like, it's just boiling. Do you see what's going on in Chicago? Y'all jealous of Florida. A lot of y'all jealous of Florida. You can't afford to live in Florida. What I'm talking to you for? Let's go.
And this was back when I had hair and all of that stuff on the top of my head, not just on my beard. It was this barber guy, and he wound up having like 9 children, and then he wound up getting divorced. And he said that one of his 9 children had to be successful or make it into the league so that he could be taken care of, because that was his retirement plan. He said this out of his mouth, and all of us that was in the barbershop was looking at him like, man, are you insane? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? And that's why the word says that you have to leave an inheritance for your children, because you shouldn't be a burden. It is not the responsibility of somebody that didn't ask to be here to take care of you. Now,
it's not the responsibility of someone that you born in this world to take care of you. Anton is correct. Anton Daniels is correct. Listen again. Listen.
Crazy? Are you out of your mind? And that's why the word says that you have to leave an inheritance for your children, because you shouldn't be a burden. It is not the responsibility of somebody that didn't ask to be here to take care of you. Now, if they do, or they honor you or whatever, that's cool. But the last thing that I've ever wanted in my life is to ever have to have my daughter pause her life so that she can ensure that I'm okay, because I was irresponsible for the entirety of my life while I was on this earth. You telling me you?
Ooh, Anton, I got to give you a round of applause. Round of applause for saying that, Anton. Let me rewind it again for the people in the back. Listen to this. Listen.
Honor you or whatever, that's cool. But the last thing that I've ever wanted in my life is to ever have to have my daughter pause her life so that she can ensure that I'm okay, because I was irresponsible for the entirety of my life while I was on this earth. You telling me you've been here for 50, 60, 70, 80 years and you haven't been productive, you haven't saved nothing, you haven't did a 401k, you haven't did anything, and you just completely a burden until you die. And when you die in a debt, and you hand over debt to your children.
Hand over debt to your children. Did you hear that? See, a lot of parents don't want to talk about that. You have to pay off your debt for your parents' mistakes. Do you know there's a lot of people in my age group I found out that's taking care of their parents that didn't do right by them? If y'all knew what I knew, you got people my age group that are taking care of their mothers or in their 50s, taking care of their mothers, living in their mother's house. And they have not even done nothing for themselves. Their son is in poverty. Son-mother relationship. This is the reason why. The Most High did not intend for us to be in poverty of sin. The people choose to be in poverty of sin. And people have children more in poverty than when they're successful. Because successful people want to have their children in a righteous state of indignation with the right woman. Let me tell y'all something. This is why a lot of women can't stand me. You notice a lot of women don't come to my chat. I'm going to tell you why. Y'all ready for this? Put a 2 in the chat. You know why a lot of women don't come in my chat? They stay in the clouds and they barely support. They support here and there. Let me tell you why. Because I don't bite my tongue for nobody. The reason why is because I don't teach poverty. I don't teach men to stay in poverty. I teach men to fish and hunt and get the hell out of that situation they're in and do better. And find a woman that's on your frequency that you want to have kids with. I teach men don't have no children with a woman because she looks sexy. No. Have discipline. Have discipline, for crying out loud. I don't care if she Benita Apollon, I gotta get it on. Benita Apollon, I gotta get it on. Benita Apollon, I gotta get it on. 34 7-Eleven. She mastered me in heaven. My name is Q-Tip now. She looking fly as fire. Then you put a baby in her. Now you back to square zero, huh? That baby like, wah. And she all in your face. She was looking fine. She was looking sexy. She had your baby. Now she looking at you different because you gave her a baby and you ain't got nothing to show for it. See, successful men have the right type of woman for the most part, and they don't put everything. They know how to maneuver the money to where, as if the woman get out of pocket, she ain't getting nothing. Even the scriptures tell you the woman leaves without nothing. See, y'all don't know about these things because you wasn't taught. I tell you. Let's go.
That's insane to me. I absolutely think that that is a horrible way, and I think that people are they're putting their lives on the line just for their children.
Like,
Yep.
I want to help them, but like, I only have so much energy, so much resources of my own. And it's like one of those situations, like, I'll give money, not to my dad, but like, I'll give money. But like, does that solve anything? No. Because you still got to
Like a
keep
black
giving
hole.
money because they're not learning anything. And it's like, the victim mentality will literally destroy your soul, okay? Like, I don't know, not really. Your soul is perfect. It's always going to be perfect. But you know what I mean? It's like the victim
No, it's
mentality
not.
is so insidious. It will just creep up into
Let me get this witch out of here. We got a witch in the building. We got a tarot reading witch in the building. We got a witch in the building. You're not welcome here. I screenshot it so I know who you are. Because you was sent. You came in your burner account. Let me pack you on out of here. I'm not going to entertain you witches. Let's continue.
literally everything you do, to the point where you're isolated and you have nothing. God, I don't even know.
Also, I feel like if you're going to be a poor and underplanned parent, at very least, you could be honest with your children about that. My main problem with poor people having children is the fact that poor people have children and convince their children that the children don't deserve anything. They don't deserve better parents. They don't deserve a better life. They didn't deserve.
Ooh, this woman going in. Talk your talk, lady. Talk your talk. Let's go.
To have been thoughtfully brought into this world.
It's so funny because people, because my whole life is an open book, and people will hold me accountable for having good parents. And even my daughter experiences it. And this shows you how bad the culture is getting, is that my daughter have come to me before and said, people be getting mad at me talking about, well, I got two parents. What do you mean? People are mad at you that you got two parents.
Get what they get and they don't get upset. All because the parents just wanted to have smecks. That's not fair. Like,
that's
I'm not going to sit around and say poor people shouldn't have children, but if poor people are going to have children, then they should let their children know, yeah, I could have made better decisions. I didn't make this decision right here. The day that you were born, me and daddy should have, me and mommy could have, would have, should have, could have, would have. Have that conversation with your child so that, one, they don't end up in a similar situation, but two, so that they are not moving through life feeling like they have to accept less, they have to accept lack, they have to just fight and struggle and suffer. Like, not saying that you don't have to work hard and do things in life. Obviously you do, but I think it's a much better foundation when you were cared for and the people around you set an example of what it looks like to.
That's why relationships is bad right now in 2025 and beyond. That's why relationships is so bad in 2025 and beyond, because both men and women can't get along with each other because they have a poverty mindset. You'd be surprised how much poverty talk be going on in these conversations. You'd be surprised that some of these men and women, all they talk about is poverty stuff, poverty-stricken situations. You rarely see the woman pushing her man to do better, and you rarely see the man pushing his woman to be great, just in case something happens to him. You got a lot of guys ain't teaching a woman how to be financially more stable, just in case something happens to him. And then she get with some sucker who don't know how to be responsible. I'm telling you, man, this is wild, man. Let's go.
Care about how your life was going to turn out and put the work in. Like, yes, before my children, I did X, Y, and Z. I made this sacrifice. I thought about this thing. I thought about her future, his future, what it was going to look like, blah, 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 whatever. How do you expect your child to care about themselves and create this great life and strive for all these amazing things that y'all claim to want y'all children to do when you won't even set the standard?
No, she's right.
She's right. She's right. She's on fire. She's on fire. Shout out to the young lady that's getting it. Shout out to her.
Right. She's 100% right. I've said this for a long time. When I first said it, everybody act like they were so appalled and it was such a horrible take. When I said that poor people should absolve themselves of having children until they reasonably, you ain't got to be rich, but you should be able to reasonably take care of them, and that should not become the burden of everybody else.
I'm with you on that, Anton. I'm with you on that. Let's go.
Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T Chanley, 40% off your first.
All right, so we're going to stop with that. We're going to get right into the situation. So it seems like it's been passed, the Epstein files, because that's what a lot of people is here for. They're not here to learn how to get out of poverty. I already know how you folks is in here. We got 38 people in here. Y'all here for the... What you going to say about the Epstein files? We waiting for the Epstein files. We don't want to hear about this poverty stuff. We love poverty, Rollo. We love poverty. We love abuse. We love being at the bottom. So can you talk about that now? Oh my goodness. Let's get to it. So we're going to... Okay, let's see which one we're going to find that we need to look for. Okay. Major Taylor Green once again. Oh, we seen that already. Hold on, that's not the one we need to see. She was on the liberal station. Hold on. I'm gonna find it. Hold on, y'all. Okay, we go to Fox News. All right, let's get to it. All right, let's get to it right now. Okay. Let's hear what they have to say about it. Let's go.
Let's bring in Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. He sits on the Health Committee and Banking Committee. So what about that? Why now? Why didn't the Democrats do this at some point over the last 4 years?
Well, I think it's a distraction, obviously. I mean, it's obvious that it wasn't a big deal when Biden was there. This is obviously looking a lot worse on them. I mean, you got Summers that was, Epstein's wingman. You have Clinton that was on his plane 26 times.
Yeah, the Democrats that hate America now is going to be exposed. The Democrats is about to be exposed, the Clintons, the other peoples. Let's go.
You have the delegate from the U.S. Virgin Islands, Plaskett.
We'll come to her in a second.
Yeah, who's saying that, who's literally texting him and took a $30,000 donation for the DCCC on it. So I think this is all just a distraction that they're trying to get away from their policies and their ridiculous agenda that they have. I mean, think about this. We were 43.
I agree. The Democrats are upset that they didn't get what they want. And I'm gonna say this: if you live in a blue state, I got a message for you. You already know I talked about the Chicago situation. Go look at the video. Y'all should be looking into it, where they're gonna start, removing blacks out of Chicago and New York, which they've been doing lately. And then they're going to start pushing out whites and Latino Americans out of these cities in the Midwest of Chicago, the Northeast of New York City, and LA. They're going to start pushing you out and put these poor migrant demons to replace you in these places. Let's continue. The Democrats is in a lot of trouble. And I'm going to tell you this, since they wanted this to happen so bad, and some of these quote-unquote Republicans who are Democrats, notice that they're not going to get the funds and support, and rightfully so. So you want to support sinners, you want to push this sin out, now you're going to reap the consequences of it. Let's continue.
3 days in a shutdown. Not one word about the Epstein files. The day the government was reopening, they switched immediately. Every left-leaning fake news outlet started running Epstein stuff immediately.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Because they didn't get what they want. And now they want to push this to think the American people are going to fall for it. And you got these Ibarasi YouTubers who not taking care of their own family the way they're supposed to. Like what Anton Daniels pointed out, how the children is going through it. You got particular YouTubers who don't take care of their own kids, yet talking about the Epstein files. We want the new breed files released. We want the new breed files released. I want to see it. I want to see it too. That demon needs to be exposed. Let's go.
When it took place. And I think President Trump was smart by saying, release them. Go ahead, get them all out.
And then we had those 3 emails from Jeffrey Epstein that were released by the Democrats,
right,
which they thought cleverly redacted the name of Virginia Giuffre, whose testimony was already well known.
You're right.
To try to throw some more smoke out there that, maybe there's somebody else who's talking about the president. But this does seem to be blowing back to a greater degree on Democrats. You mentioned the delegate from the Virgin Islands,
right,
Stacey Plaskett, who during a hearing in February of 2019 with Michael Cohen was getting real-time coaching via text by Jeffrey Epstein. We put that together. Watch how it unfolded here.
Reduce his real estate taxes.
Ooh. Oh, man, this is about to get real. The Democrats in trouble. The Democrats is in a lot of trouble.
I'm sharing with you 2 newspaper articles, side by side, that are examples of Mr. Trump inflating and deflating his assets, as I said, to suit his finance testimony. As I noted, I'm giving the committee to
Mr. Weisenberg and other individuals, Ms. Rona. Who are those individuals? As Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot.
I mean, that's just extraordinary. This is a guy who was 4 months away for getting popped for all of the bad stuff that he had been doing, and she's texting with him real time.
Well, if you read the text, he said ask. I mean, Epstein said ask about Rono, and she said, who's that?
Yeah, is that an acronym?
Yes.
As opposed to knowing that it was
right.
Rona
Is that an acronym? Does this stand for something? She didn't know who it was, but she was asking the questions. Once again, this doesn't look good at all for the Democrats, but this is all about smoke and mirrors. It's about distractions. You know, you really start looking at this. People said, well,
the American people are so fixated with the situation. I got a question for the American people. Is this going to pay your bills? Is this going to give you a raise at your job? You got mouths to feed, right? You got places to take care of, things to do. Is this going to lower your gases? Is this going to give you $1 million check? No. This is all a distraction. Ever since this is why, man, it's just too much going on. Not only in the sky, it's going on in the ground. Let's go.
why hasn't President Trump already did this? Why didn't he already release it? The White House was very concerned about just the DOJ files coming out and not the ones that were inside the grand jury. Remember, there's a grand jury in Florida and a grand jury in New York that Pam Bondi has asked them to release the files to, and they haven't agreed to release them. What we wanted to do as a Republican Party is release them all at once with the grand jury and with the open files. I think this is going to blow back directly on them. I mean, even Epstein himself was trying to make President Trump look bad. So obviously they didn't have a great relationship.
No, I mean,
but that's not.
Yeah, Epstein and Trump did not get along with each other. And the women even said that. I talked about that. Even the women said Trump didn't get involved in this stuff. Trump did not become friends with Epstein. And the devil don't like when you know about his stuff and you're not friends with him. What's up, Run It Up 360? What's up? The Democrats have 4 years under Biden to open up these files. I don't hear these liberal YouTube content creators talking about this. They're not talking about this. They had the House, the Senate. Why did Biden not open up the files when they was in there for 4 years? That's because they was doing wrong by the American people. See, what you're gonna find out is that they're replacing you. Put a 2 in the chat if you heard me say they're replacing the American people. I told y'all this. Listen, put a 2 in the chat. You've been watching me for a long time. I said that these liberals is going to replace you American citizens. But you don't listen to me. How you doing, Bridget? Good day. You don't listen to me. Tell Mr. Bridget I said hello. Tell your husband I said hello too. You don't listen to me. You are stupid. You're born with the devil. Because I told y'all that they're trying to replace the American people in these blue states. I told y'all this. You forgot I got family that's in the cabinet. I was over by a Democrat, Reg the Bad Guy's channel. He's a Democrat. And I said in his channel in 2019 that God could strike me. I said the country would shut down 2020. I had a video on Wake the Hell Up 7 called Exodus 2016-2019. Back in 2015, my old channel. I took those videos, I removed those videos, I deleted that channel. God is my witness. You could strike me. I said it over by Rex, the Democrat channel. I said the sports were shut down. I said it in its proper order. I said when the sports shut down, America and the world was shut down. And it came to fruition. And I talk about the fire. The fire that happened in the northern states. I said it was coming from Canada. God could strike me dead. And I said it would not hit Florida. The fire hit everywhere except Florida. Because I was in Florida when it happened. I could have Zats, Ringo TV reactions will tell you I said it. They could confirm it if they're listening. They could confirm it themselves as witnesses. Running Up 360 was in the chat. I said that when I was in Florida. I said there's a fire coming from Canada, and New York is going to get the worst of it, and it's going to hit all the states except Florida. That cloud did not hit Florida. Look it up. Do your research. I'm not somebody to play with. Everything I said about economy, changes, airlines, did I not tell you earlier this year that something was going to happen in October, November of this year? Did I not say that? Put a 5 in the chat if y'all remember saying earlier this year. I said the last 3 months is going to be a change of events. Put a 5 in the chat if you remember me talk about that earlier this year. And I told y'all the northern states and the southern states is in a separate time right now. And guess what? It happened. I told you, I know what be going on. And I'm going to tell you this. To my American people, stop being docile with the liberals. Cut the liberals off. And I told y'all the taxes is going to go higher in these blue states. I told y'all the taxes is going to go higher in the blue states. And they replacing teachers right now as we speak. I got teachers that watch my channel. To my teachers, some of you are not going to be teachers in 2026. I was told. A lot of liberal schools are going to close down in 2026. They don't have the funds to keep the schools open. There's a lot of schools in these blue red states going to close down, and the blue cities going to close down. If you're a parent, you better learn how you're going to have to take care of your children. This is what is going down 2026. I know what I'm talking about. Because the people with money are not funding these schools no more. Because they're being taxed to death in these blue cities. Listen, this is all by design by the devil to keep you in poverty. I told y'all this. The devil is in America. And his children is in America. And to be honest, the devil is having more kids than godly people is having kids. Can we agree with that? Can we agree that the devil is popping more babies in this world than godly people are? Because majority of the women is having babies by devil men. That's the facts. That's a fact. That's not emotionally lies. A lot of women is having baby fever by these low vibrational men, poverty men. They're not getting with dudes that's successful. They're not getting with dudes to have children with that's on point. You ladies are opening up your legs to these liberal dudes. Let's continue. Let's go.
This is like another Russian gate.
He kicked him out of his club by that point, and Epstein was obviously none too happy about it. However, Larry Summers, who appears to be the biggest loser in this so far. He was the Treasury Secretary under Clinton. He was the former president of Harvard. He was Obama's chief economic advisor. Had stayed in touch with Epstein for years after the sexual stuff started.
After he was a registered sex offender.
Yes.
Right.
Here's what Larry Summers said. I am deeply ashamed of my actions and recognize the pain that they've caused. I take full responsibility for my misguided decision to continue communicating with Mr. Epstein. He's basically retiring to the proverbial undisclosed location. He says he's withdrawing from public life. But when you have episodes like this with Plaskett and with Larry Summers, I mean, why are the Democrats so fixated on President Trump?
Well, first of all, Summers can try to retire from public life. The truth is, if he did something criminal, knowing it, and he was covering up for Epstein, then he needs to be prosecuted. So
I'm with them on that. If Summers is covering up something, he's going to be prosecuted. That's correct.
You can try to retire and say, I'm getting away from it. You can't. The question needs to come up is, what was Bill Clinton doing on the plane 26 times? Why did Epstein refer to himself as Summers' wingman? What was the close relationship there? You're not a wingman in a situation like that you don't know what's going on the plane and on the private island. And then for him to be able to go ahead and join this new Russian gate, which is the Epstein gate, I guess you want to call it, this complete hoax that somehow President Trump was involved in, when at the same time it was the Democrats that's drawing this story out and trying to make it a big deal that it's not. I can't wait. I really can't wait until this absolutely blows up in the face of the Democrats once again and shows the hypocrisy that they have.
When do you think it goes to a vote before the Senate? What happens?
It could come up as quick as this week. The problem is the president or the speaker, Johnson, has made it very clear that he wants to protect some of the identity of the victims, and he's concerned about the House language. So we'll have to come over here. We'll try fixing that because we don't want to. If the victims don't want to be exposed, we don't want to expose them. So we want to make sure that language is tight. We might be able to get that done this week. If not, I'm sure it'll come up right after.
That makes a lot of sense. They'll release it by next week or 2 weeks from now. It'll be released within 2 weeks. You got to protect the people that know the information, report it to the FBI, the CIA, and all that other stuff. So it's going to take about a couple of weeks. Anyway, let's go.
We get back from Thanksgiving.
All right, we'll keep watching it. Thank you, Senator, for being with us. Really appreciate you coming over.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks.
All right, for more on the Epstein vote today, let's bring in our Fox News contributor, Byron York. Byron, welcome to you. I want to put up a tweet up on the screen, or a post you put to X. And you said this: these victims have gone public, given up privacy. They have members of Congress who say they will go to the floor of the House, protected by speech, debate. To name the victims accused of crimes, associates of Epstein who stayed close to him even after his 2008 criminal conviction are on the run. Look at Lawrence Summers today. Why not name the names and be done with it, you ask? Please do jump in as we continue to cover this vote. By the way, you'll see one nay. We are told that is Clay Higgins, the rep from Louisiana. Go ahead, Byron.
Well, there's always somebody. Listen, if you listen to what Democrats are saying, if you listen to what was being said at the victims' news conference today, they want to get the names of the offenders out. These are people who say that these rich and powerful men abused them at some point in the last 30 years at Jeffrey Epstein's houses, and they want the names to come out. Well, obviously, they haven't said the names, and the victims say they don't release the names because they're worried that these rich and powerful men will sue them and try to destroy their lives. And
if that's the case, then why is it coming out, in public? What that means, the ones that's coming out in public was not involved. Just like what Ringo said, I don't think those women that was in the public eye was involved with the Epstein thing. I don't think so either. If I stand corrected, I don't think they are. Because why would they want to show themselves publicly if they feel like something could happen to them or their children or their husband or their family members? Yes, you must protect the people that know who they are. The Democrats, listen, did you hear that part? The Democrats want the names to be released. Do you ever realize the Democrats don't even care about your own safety? Listen, did I not tell y'all that the Democrats don't care about your safety? Since when the devil cares about your safety? He wants to kill, steal, and destroy you. God wants to give you life, prosperity, and peace. The devil is busy in these places, y'all. We're in a spiritual war. It's a spiritual warfare going on in the Senate, the House of Representatives, in America, and throughout the world. Good versus evil battle is happening on earth as it is in heaven. It's happening in heaven as it is on earth. That's scripture. Nothing new under the sun, y'all. You got to pick a side. It's either you with the devil or you with God. Let's go.
At that point, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's one of their strong advocates, said, I will go to the floor of the House where I have constitutionally protected speech and I will name the names. And you think, well, there aren't really any privacy issues. After all, these particular victims were in a press conference, so they've gone public. And you wonder why Representative Greene or others who agree with her have not just gone ahead and done it.
What do you believe the answer to that question is?
Well, they still say that they're afraid of some sort of revenge from the men who were named. Now, as I pointed out, it's not really worked out that well for a lot of them. Jeffrey Epstein, of course, is dead. Prince Andrew is out. Peter Mandelson, top British official, is out, and Larry Summers has kind of gone into hiding. So they're not really fighting back. They're actually running away from this. So I'm not exactly sure why they don't do it, except this puts the onus onto the Trump administration, onto the Justice Department. And if they don't do it exactly like Democrats or Marjorie Taylor Greene or the victims groups think, then of course they can continue to criticize them for, quote, covering up this story.
All right, well, the bill is officially passed.
You think these people care about these victims? They don't care about these victims. Let me explain something to y'all. Put a one in the chat if you want me to explain it to you. Put a one in the chat. I'm going to tell you what the big deal is. Put a one in the chat if you want to know what the big deal is. And we're going to close it out. Been on for about an hour. Put a one in the chat if you want to know what's going on. Why are they doing this now at this appointed time? Put a one in the chat if you want to know. Let's see if we get some engagement. What's the real reason why they want this out? Let's see if we get some engagement. I'm waiting for y'all to put ones in the chat. Okay, Bridget put a one in the chat. Okay. Marissa put a one in the chat. All right. Listen, y'all. This is what's going on. The Democrats don't have no money to take care of its citizens in the blue states anymore. They needed the funds to cover up the amount of loss of spending. The Trump administration has made it clear that if you are going to protect criminals of other countries, including domestic terroristic people that they are protecting, these blue cities have them in these places, right? Where they're not allowing ICE to do their job, where they're not allowing the feds to do their job. They've been covering up known high criminals. Right now, they are in Charlotte. ICE is in Charlotte right now as we speak. That's a red state, yet Charlotte is a blue Ibarasi city. And so now they're in Charlotte now as we speak, you know. And so they hiding these people in various places. They are giving them an identity as being an American citizen, and they're not an American citizen. There's a battle going on between good and evil. If you live in a blue city and you're doing well, this is my message to you, and you represent God. Make sure, like in the day of Moses, that you have that thing to protect you and your family. Because next year, and I'm not playing, next year, the smoke of death is coming to a city near you. It's going to be, that's confirmation because we got 26 people watching. It's going to be crazy. It's 26 people watching. That's confirmation, y'all. Wow. Wow. It's going to be crazy of a change of events in America in 2026. Because since they wanted this to come out, it's going to make the Democrats look worse. And there's a lot of people leaving New York, leaving Chicago, leaving LA. People of importance is leaving. You, the hard-earned worker, is going to have to flip the bill. That means a lot of schools is going to close, a lot of less police officers in your jurisdiction. This is where I look at the Isaiah 4:1. I want to say this before I go. You're going to have a lot of women, fellas, I want you to listen to the men that are married. I want to talk to the men that are married because a lot of you men that are married, you're going to be sought after. A lot of women are going to be in despair 2026. You think 2025 is something? You haven't seen anything yet. To my married ladies, you got to have this conversation with your husband. Women could smell if he's a nice guy. They're going to fight tooth and nail to take over your household. Do not allow it to happen. You got to have this conversation with your husband. Because these women are going to prey on married men or men in relationships. So you got to go into your prayer closet, ladies. Make sure there's a hedge of protection on your husband, your household, and that he does not be a target for these witches and warlocks. Because of his glow, they're going to try to take him and set him up. Fellas, this is not a time to have a lot of women. I know some of you want to have a lot of women. This is not the time. The storm has to clear out. It's just not the time. Even if you got a lot of money, you got to protect the home. You got to protect your wife. You got to protect your kids. This is not a time to be entertaining a lot of women. Because you got to understand this, and I get it. I get what the scriptures say. At the same time, we have to look at the climates of the areas we in. Not every woman is fixed to be a wife. They will destroy your own wife. Trust me when I tell you, I know what I'm talking about. And I'm a ladies' man. And I could tell you what I know and what I see. And even it's not entertaining a lot of women. Because I'm telling you, your main woman got to be protected and the kids got to be protected. Don't entertain these women in these places. They come in your DM, keep those receipts. With that said, Italian Mama in the building, what's up? Thanks once again, Mrs. Eldridge, for the support. I appreciate it. You know, a lot of ladies is hiding in the clouds now. All of a sudden, it's been lately. A lot of women been hiding in the clouds. Yeah, it's best not to be caught off guard. Yeah, you're gonna have to have a conversation with your husband. This is serious. I'm not joking. It's this. Man, it's not the time to be in this polygynous thing, man. When the kingdom, when we get back in our rightful state, that's when I will be okay with polygyny. I don't want to deal with that, man. This is not the state of it. You know what I'm saying? It's too much jealousy, insecurity. It's a lot that comes with this, man, that these guys don't talk about. Anyway, thank y'all all for tuning into the show. You know, that's pretty much about it. You know, to the haters that's watching, that keeps talking about me, go ahead, talk about me now. I'm not going to respond to you. So with that said, y'all, I'm going to get on out of here, do what I need to do. So Bridget, Eldridge, to all the other mods and members, thank you all for coming through. I'm going to release the members only video, so be on the lookout for that. And so with that said, I'll catch you on the next one. If y'all want to support, you can support via Cash App, Venmo, or hit the thanks, you know, you want to support in the comment section. Y'all be safe out there. We'll get more into this as time goes on. Enjoy your holiday season. You know what I'm saying? I may not be into the holiday season. However, you know, this is the biggest time of travel. You know, be mindful. Be mindful of traveling in the air, or, you know, just be mindful, because it's not 100% yet. You know, it's going to take time for them to be back at float. So you can't rush it. So be safe if you're flying. Let me know how it goes, you know. That's pretty much about it. Brown royalty to the people. We the business.